Fruit fly. It is getting warmer. Yeah, good evening. Welcome. I've smashed my orange cup just in the kitchen. 5 people watching this shit. Good evening. Yeah, sad news. I've smashed my orange cup. Because I'm on the telly. There's fuck all on telly nowadays, isn't there? Good evening, Dave Ellison. Fruit fly on the wall now. Yeah, smashed my orange cup. I wasn't planning on smashing my orange cup, but there you go. 9 people watching this shit. It looks weird on telly. It looks like I've got no face. I was trying to be arty. That's fucking distracting. That it's like some fucking weirdo on the telly with no face. 14 people watching this shit. Good evening. Welcome to the Christmas Eve edition of Nothingness. It's a show that consists of no show. It's just me. Sat here, open, winging my way through. You'd have to turn the brightness down on the TV down. I like it though. I like it. It looks. I don't know how to work the fucking brightness. But I like the fact I've got no face. But it is distracting, to be fair. You know, it's quite creepy to look at. You know, what I would look like if I had no face. Good evening, Daz Williams. Good evening, the founder gaming, the man who dances with girls. I've been with that. I'll word that more correctly, more succinctly. Fuck it. I've been with Dave Ellison today. We've been to a film premiere in Manchester. Not a big film premiere. It's a film what I have a brief scene in. A student film called Savoir Vivre. Savoir Vivre. Yeah, and I have a brief scene in it. So we went to Manchester, and we went to Albert Schloss's, and we had a bratwurst sausage and chips, and then I came here, and that was my day really. I don't know about your day, but 15 people watching this shit. Good evening. We're 2 minutes in. There's already 2 minutes of your life that you won't get back. I've invited some people on. I don't know if they'll come on. I don't know if Martin Redding will come on after last night. He was he came out with the revelation that Keith Moon from The Who fucks goats or fucked goats. This was insider information. That's how last night's live stream ended. Steve Beattie just went straight away, and I just didn't know I didn't know how to follow that. You know, I've heard of a film called Men Who Stare at Goats. Hello, Helen. Anyway, hello, Helen Maiden, Dr. Robert. 21 people watching this shit. Let me check. Good evening. I squirted orange paint all over an old people's home to show support. Good. Good. Could you find a white cup and spray it orange? Because I've smashed my fucking orange cup. Good evening, Saul. I'm throwing the link up early, to be fair. Well, it's Ian. Acid makes you do funny things, so I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, this is true. I mean, Jimmy Savile used to fucking squirt semen all over people in old people's homes. So squirting orange paint is kind of it's kind of a mild thing to do, isn't it? Really. That's the link anyway. I'm just scribbling around for the brew. I stole this cup years ago. Now I'm in Scholes is a McDonald's. Now where the McDonald's used to be was Upper Morris Street Working Men's Club. I wanted a brief stand-up spot there. It was good. Yeah. So every Wednesday, this Upper Morris Street club used to have auctions on of all stuff off the tip and house clearances, what people used to buy. 1 minute, Ian, I'll let you on. Yeah, so basically my story is I stole this cup from Upper Morris Street Labour Club, from the cafe bit where they sold chips and a burger. And it's my only cup what I have now. I had my fancy orange cup from Battersea Power Station. Good evening, Ian.
Hey mate, you alright?
Yeah, I'm
Good.
just telling people my stolen cup story. We've all got stolen cups or stolen beer glasses in the cupboard, I think.
Of course, man.
You know, we've got how's your day been?
Hey, it's been not bad. I've been chilled. I've just been getting stoned, had a few beers, man. Getting ready for this fucking shitty season coming up. I hate it, me. Honestly, I am a humbug, honestly. I can't stand it.
Well, I'm struggling because today feels like Christmas Eve. So it's like there's 2 Christmas Eves for me. You know?
I've seen it earlier. He did actually put Christmas Eve at first, didn't it? And someone said it's not Christmas Eve.
That's why I've done 2 lives. I did a Christmas Eve live, which I thought tonight was Christmas Eve. Then Sean Ryder reminded me it's not Christmas Eve tonight. So I thought, well, I'll do a Christmas Eve Eve live.
Yeah, damn right, man. I'll be able to make that one. You see, I can't make the Christmas Eve one, but the Christmas Eve one I can make.
Brato says Ian is smoking weed to show support for Stop Oil.
He's just jealous because I timed him out.
What's your thoughts on Stop Oil?
I think it's ridiculous, man. End of the day, it's like you said, yeah. What we're going to use instead? There is these theories, right? And I do believe them, right? That people can run cars and things off silly things, and when people come out with rediscoveries like water, they get killed off a few months later. I do think there's a conspiracy behind it, but without oil, man, there'd be nothing. This country would be dark.
What would they do about lube for sex and things? I'm sure that contains oil and stuff like that.
I think they'll just use pigs and sheep and that themselves instead of all else.
I don't really know. I know that you can make cars out of hemp, can't you? And do all kinds of shit with hemp, can't you?
Yeah.
Rope and stuff. And
well, the world used to survive on hemp until like 1908 or something, man, when they made hemp illegal. Because of the industrial age, you know, all the brought cars and oil, and they just took over. It took over the hemp, and we made it all illegal because they knew people could suffice and live off just hemp alone.
What's the difference between hemp and weed?
THC.
Is the CBD in hemp?
Yeah, I'd have thought so. So I'm not 100% sure. It's a hemp seed they use for the CBD oil. So I'd have thought so.
So is hemp the male plant, and obviously weed is a female plant, isn't it? The THC plant. Female.
I'm not 100% sure. It does sound right, doesn't it? It does sound right, but I don't know. I get mixed up with male and females and all of this, like me, man. Do you know what I mean? I just like smoking it.
Well, perhaps even now the cannabis plants are non-binary, so they might not be he or her. They might be they.
So if the cannabis growers are living in a non-binary world, then the weed's going to be shit in the future.
Well, why do you think they legalized it? Monsanto.
You haven't legalized it.
Did you know that like Monsanto? I mean,
there's like CanCard as well, but it's not actually legal. Do you know what I mean? It's a Class B drug now in this country. We changed it from a Class C to a Class B, right? And then these CanCard people and all these lot would activate in saying that people need it for medicinal reasons. So now it is actually legal, right, to get it medicinally in this country, but no doctor will give you a prescription for weed. No doctor will do it. I've spoke to doctors and said, no, I'm not going to do it. We'll get struck off.
You know what? This weed, what they sell pharmaceutically, it won't be good for you.
I remember when... I remember when CanCard came out a few years ago, right, and there was ratings, right, and we were getting the weed from like places like Israel and all different kind of countries, and a lot of it were coming back with, you know, ratings and were saying in mouldy and all of this, like, made them worse, made the chest bad and everything like this. So you're right.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. This was about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, maybe. But there was them things coming back from their patients. Do you know what I mean? Because I was really thinking about doing it, but it was like £15 a gram or something like that. It was expensive. Do you know what I mean?
You would be legal to get it and all that, but it's more expensive kind of thing,
Yeah.
and it's worse quality than on the streets.
Yeah, because like it got me, because we've got countries like Israel and Portugal and stuff like this where the weed's coming from, and they're all like, well, Britain is the biggest weed supplier in the world, and not British people, the British government. Do you know what I mean? But that's just how it runs. I don't get it. It's a crazy one, isn't it?
It's I think most of the weed as well is grown in council houses. I think that's where most of it's grown. I think
in little dark cupboards or fucking attics, man. This is the right time now, man. When it starts snowing and that, like, it's the right time to know if your next door neighbour's got a grow worth getting.
Yeah, but then you don't want snow, do you? Because your neighbours can see you've no snow on your roof.
Exactly, straight in there, man, innit? But
You
no,
know, I take notice me of houses with no snow on the roof when it's snowing, kind of thing.
you've got to do, man. Unless they've got like a sauna in their bloody attic, man. They're up to something, and that's how I look at it too. But you'll be surprised where you see it, and it's like right nice areas and that, and you'll see like empty roofs of snow, and it's like that's weird. You wouldn't have thought, but it's anywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, there's countless times when you drive past somewhere and you get a whiff of fresh weed, and you know somebody's crop's ready.
Yeah.
You know, there was one in Wigan Town. You know what? There was one in Wigan Town Centre, and it fucking stunk. And it turned out it was like these Chinese doing it, like, you know what I mean? Obviously, you've not filtered it out, and it fucking stunk. And obviously, that's a giveaway in it for a lot of people who don't know what they're doing. It's when it's fucking when it's ready and it stinks. It really stinks. You know what I mean?
It does. It's little mistakes like that what get you caught, though. I've got a friend on Facebook, and he just put a thing on other day, right? Police, it was in Halifax, I think, right? Police went to serve a warrant at a house, right? There was nobody there, but we had their own entry. The house was just full of plants, but there was no one there, so we didn't arrest no one. And it's like,
has it gone back up in severity? No.
Yeah, it's a Class B drug now. A lot of coppers will just let you off with it, but it's in the same sense like amphetamine's a Class B drug, isn't it? I'm sure it is.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So it's in the same sense as amphetamine, which I totally disagree with. Do you know what I mean?
Would you say weed helps you? Would you say weed helps you get through life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to rectify that. I think drugs have got me through my whole life. Yeah. I just think weed is the right one to do. This is the wrong one to do. I know it. You have to tell me. I think weed is the one where you can get through life. You think differently and everything like this.
Ian, you've got a bit muffled. Is your finger over the volume? You're a bit muffled then.
Oh, sorry.
That's right. That's spot on that. But let's talk about this if you want to. When did your anxiety start from a young age? If you don't mind, if you don't want to talk about it, we'll fuck it off. You know.
Mate, I've taken drugs since I was like 40. I was a junkie at 15.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So I ain't got a clue where my anxiety comes from. Do you know what I mean? I try and fucking think back and everything like this. I've just got loads of different things blowing around. For me to realise anything and be able to recognise anything, I need to stop drinking. But it just one after another. But I've been doing a lot more cocaine this year. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you try and stop one and another one jumps in and says, I'll fill that all. Do you know what I mean? It's like an arsehole. There's always someone there to fill it. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, earlier this year, I mean, you fuck YouTube off, and you. I mean, I've had a lot of rants and raves on YouTube. I'm just. Do you think you're in a better headspace than you was then? That point when you fucked, or is it just kind of alternating?
Yeah. Only because, oh man, I was really fucking head was really fucked. I had fucking so many things going on, and as soon as I deleted my channel, I regretted it straight away, and that did me head in. Do you know what I mean? Because I thought there's no going back. I can't go and get it back. And that did me head in for ages. So it took me like months just to get my head right. It's all like, before I started my channel again this time, which was about, 4 weeks ago or something, it was only like 2 months before that I started feeling all right. And I'm like, maybe I should do that again. And I even thought that for a month. I'm like, nah, man, because that'll just do me head in again. Why do I want to do that? But I give in. Do you know what I mean?
Can be a, you know what I mean? It can be a good release sometimes. I'll just put you. Let me get your channel up again. Can't Be the Weed 420, innit? Volume 2, is it? Oh.
Yeah. Do you know, I thought about changing name altogether, mate, that, and I thought, fuck 'em, man. End of the day, if I hate you, what do you do? They're still going to know.
You're always going to, you don't want to be, you never in life want to be in a position where everybody fucking likes you, because then they're the worst kind of people who everybody likes. No, because nobody really likes them, but they think they do. Let me just say, David Jones, Evening Jimmy, been trying to find the video of the Right Honourable Redding going off his head at you. It's on Stephen Waz's page, and I think it's called the Banged Up Abroad edition. And basically, it's Martin drunk being angry with me. But if you want to support Ian on his new channel, that is the link to his new channel. Give him a subscription. Help him build his channel up and all that kind of thing.
Did you say Martin drunk then, man? That sounded shocking, that did.
Well, it was on the sherry one night, and I sometimes we fall out, and I like winding him up. And some people are dead easy to wind up, and he's one of them. And you know, and I just fucking am a prick sometimes with people. I just fucking and I think he was feeling a bit spurned by me because I fucked him off, and you know, because sometimes you don't want people who's depressing fucking biting at your ankles, do you? You know what I mean?
You just keep away from him, don't you, man?
Is he now? But I can depress myself, and sometimes you just want to try and be positive and that. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
Sometimes
that's why I don't go around people much, man, because I know I'm a dickhead, right? And I know if I go out in wrong frame of mind, I'm going to end up getting myself in trouble. So I prefer to keep myself in, but I don't know. I found a nice place where I can go in and talk shit, be a bit of a wanker, but I'd never go overboard. And do you know what I mean? I'm all right there. But
you know what?
I mean, I'm the same as you. I'm a wanker too, Jimmy. I think we all are. Just a lot of people.
We're all wankers occasionally, you know. But I mean, I've got fucking things wrong with my head, and my head's fucked. But I don't want to use it as a pass. And some people just use what they've got as a pass, and you know what I mean. And
oh yeah.
But there's there's people in wheelchairs doing things. So I just think, you know what I mean.
I get you, right? But it's like, you know, some days, man, I can't leave my house. I physically just can't. I can't get up. I don't answer phone calls. I don't speak to people. I just can't do it. It just gets me so much, man. Do you know what I mean? But I do get you. People who just play on it. People think I play on it. Yeah, and do you know what I mean? It's like, I know my head's fucked, and I try my best. And when someone puts pressure on me to get a job, yeah, I break, man. It breaks me away, especially when I'm like this. It just fucks me up. You know, routine and everything.
How are you getting on with the dole now? Are they pressuring you to get a job and all that?
No.
But that's not really Martin. That it's somebody who comes on and puts a dot on things. So that's just it was normally David Icke or something else. But
yeah,
I don't know where Martin is tonight. He might be busy. John Hayworth here, Jimmy. Good to see you, and Ian. Hope you're good. Yeah, everybody give Ian's channel a subscription if you would. It costs you. I
don't feel it's gonna think Ian you're a knobhead, right? But John Hayworth's in Cali, isn't he? He's a Brit guy. I forget who people
are. Have you interviewed him once?
I've been on my channel, Bear. I'm sure of it, man. We used to have good conversations, man. I don't think I interviewed him, but I per se it like that. But yeah, I just get mixed up with names in it, and people come on. I'm like, right, all right, yeah, I remember now. You block it all out of your head, don't you? Sometimes, man. It's just like that's what it was. But I'm just trying to get there, man. I'm hoping Christmas is going to be nice. I hate it, but I'm going to see my grandson. So
are you doing all the cooking on Christmas Day?
I'm going to stay with my kid's mum. She's got a big house in it, and she's got downstairs and everything. Like, a whole room downstairs. So I'm using that, me and dogs. And I'm going to have my grandson most of it.
Right.
It's going to be nice.
Did you and your missus never get back together, if you don't mind me asking? Is that ship sailed?
Yeah. I didn't want to, mate. I pushed everyone away out of my life, man. Everyone. I didn't want nothing to do with anyone. That's what I mean. That was how my head went, mate. It just, I didn't leave my house for like 8-10 weeks at all. Just not even leave it. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, that's how I get more, man. It's my mind and it's my depressed state. It's not an excuse. It's just my depressed state, and beer fucks me up.
I wish I had an excuse like beer or something, but I push people away, and I have all them fucking. I need to stop swearing. You know what? I've started really swearing a lot, and I just don't know why. And it just, I have to check myself before I wreck myself. You know what I mean?
Fuck it, mate. Fuck it. It's Christmas.
You know, but
where you fucking out?
Well, this is true, really. What's your plan with this channel? Just take it as it comes now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't know. I'm just gonna put a few videos up now and then. I really want to antagonize police, but I know again it's the wrong thing I should do.
I don't think you know what you're putting a target on your back.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't need to antagonize them. They antagonize me. They stop me for no reason and shit. They come at my house for no reason and shit. For different people who've not even lived here for years still, man. And I'm like, I just can't be arsed with them. But no, I think there's gonna be more videos of the dog coming. Look at him.
Yeah.
See him.
Is that your new dog?
Yeah, that's Roman, that mate.
Roman.
Yeah, he's a little beauty. He's asleep, man. He's just been eating my fucking. I went to the toilet, come back in, his head into my chips in it. Not bad.
He's eating your chips.
Yeah, I've got pizza and chips in it.
I'm sorry, I want to fucking. I want to cope with that, mate. It became a fucking good harding. So I should say that, shouldn't I? You know,
no,
not a good. Sorry, everybody, not a good harding.
Good telling off.
You can't eat dogs on YouTube. He'd be getting a talking to. Yeah,
I give him a good talking to yesterday. He did say he robbed a full packet of dog treats. Yeah, and he robbed a full packet of them, and I'm like, you little fucking wanker, and give him a good telling off.
You should. I was going to say somewhere you should leave a packet of chocolate laxatives around, but that would be no good in your house, would it? Because that'd come back on you, and a dog was running around.
Mate, can I say something to you, man? Right? I don't have to put anything around Rupert, mate. Right? I was getting these badass rosin brownies, mate, and they was lethal, right? And Rupert ate about 4 of them over a month, mate. Stole them off me, right? And then fucking, he's out for like 2-3 days, mate. Right, just looking at you yapping. He's like, help me, stroke me.
Yeah, I had a space cake once and never again because I lost 4 days of my life.
Yeah, I love him.
I don't know if people take them. I felt like I was in glue, like stringy glue for 4 days moving around, but no, I'm retired.
I watched the thing yesterday, and it was Joe Rogan talking about Irish fear, right? And Irish fear back in about 10 years ago or something, right? He had, salvia. It's like hallucination.
Who were talking about it? Was he talking about a UFC fighter?
Sorry, Joe Rogan, yeah.
Who was he on about? Sorry.
Irish fear. He's a comic. He's not a good comic.
All right, yeah.
But he's a good friend of Joe Rogan's, isn't it? And he was telling about a time he had that salvia. He had a hit of salvia, and someone said to him, "Salvia is that hallucinating fucking weed stuff, man. It's horrible." And he said he had a big, massive talk of it, right? Because guy said, "Oh, it's all right, don't worry about it." So he had another big, massive talk, and he said he closed his eyes. They told him what it was, and he said his eyes were closed for 8 minutes, right? But in that 8 minutes, he'd lived underwater for 6 months. He had a family, he had a house, he had everything under there. And when he woke up after that 8 minutes, right, he couldn't breathe because he's like, he needs water to breathe and not. Do you know what I mean? When he had a drink of water, he was like drowning because it's not. And it's like, if that really happened to him, but I can believe how them drugs do that to you.
Can you still buy salvia over the counter? Yeah.
Most joke shops sell it, mate. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, I don't think I'd taken it to before. I don't know what
I got spiked on it, me man. It's horrible. years ago. I know, but I couldn't get spiked. She just didn't tell me it was salvia. She just give me this for New Year. I just thought it was normal weed, mate. One of the worst experiences of my life, that, man. I still remember it to this day. My daughter sent me a message saying Happy New Year. I mean, I've told you it before, I think. My daughter sent me a message saying Happy New Year, but at the time, I seen that message as saying, Daddy, I've been kidnapped, help me. Right, so I jumped up.
I don't remember you telling me that. Fucking hell.
Mate, serious, yeah. I jumped up, went to my front door, and I'm bare, just trying to pull myself out for about half hour, an hour, mate. Seriously, and I could not push myself out the door. I didn't realise it was weed, did I? I carried on smoking it all night, mate. Right, my head was fucked, right? And then it was about until I got to the last spliff and I realised maybe it's this weed, what's doing it? And then I told fucking last who give me it, and then she started laughing her tits off, man.
It's horrible. I don't think it's good for you mentally. Like, I'm not saying you personally, but I think weed. Somebody told me, a psychiatric nurse once told me, there's more people in the fucking nut house through weed than anything else because of it's psychoactive, isn't it? And it does cause paranoia, and it does. You know what I mean? I remember when I used to smoke, you'd think things like, God, I have to go to the kitchen in a bit and stir a cup of tea, God, and then your fucking head would be in bits thinking, fucking hell, you know.
But it's a thing, isn't it, right? It's like, I know if I didn't smoke it, my mind would be going crazy. Yeah, because all the stuff what I'm trying to fucking, I don't know, block bit sounds of it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But that's what all these health professions think. No, but if I did that, then they'll be able to give me counselling, right? And I'm like, yeah, but what if I'm going through that and I've got to wait 6 months for an appointment? I've got to live 6 months going through all this, man. Do you know what I mean? And that's my battle with it. That minute. Do you know what I mean?
Hello, Andy O. Good evening. Hello, everybody. We've got 40 people watching me and Ian talk about shit. Not live shit. We're just chatting shit in general, kind of thing. But you know, it's one of these things, Ian. It's just keep going. You look healthy. You look healthy in yourself, anyway.
Yeah, mate. I'm all right, man. I am all right.
We can't Ian. We can't hear you now.
I move my hands a lot, don't I?
Yeah. I think you put your fingers over the.
Yeah, it's at the bottom there, isn't it? And I usually just put my hands at the bottom of my phone like that, and it's like, yeah.
Would you never start doing your live? How did you used to do your lives off the camera? Was it a laptop camera you used to use?
Yeah. My laptop don't. No, it was. I had a laptop that broke. I got a PC. Keyboards broke on it. Cameras broke on it. Yeah. So I'm. Do you know what I mean? It's just gonna be my phone I use.
Yeah.
But I'm not willing to put as much effort in as I did before, mate. It's a lot of effort for. I don't know. I don't want to say it, but.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean?
But Ailey Barr's in. Good evening, Ailey Barr. Are you well? David Jones. I don't drink, do any drugs whatsoever, and I don't take anything off a doctor. Won't even take a paracetamol. David Jones, the Blue Peter badge is winging its way now to you in the post. And a couple of scout badges for your lack of pharmaceutical intake. Thank you.
Hi, Haley. And I think David's lying. I think he's chatting shit.
But he watches porn 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Still taking drugs, man. People who drink energy drinks will say, I don't take drugs, but we have 10 energy drinks a day. Think we don't take drugs. And it's like, do you know what I mean? Do you see these people, man? I hate them energy drinks, me. I can't stand them.
They're really bad for you. They're a fast track to diabetes, to be fair.
Same with these vapes, mate. Same with these vapes. I can't stand them. At least, like, we can see with cigarettes, you know what's happening. With them, we only did 2 years of fucking research, and we realised that popcorn were coming from it. Do you know what I mean? From vapes, and we still said it's better and healthier.
People don't care, do they? People don't care about their health, and they carry on. And sometimes
it's all about the moolah.
And it's about people's own ignorance as well. People are like walking towards it. You know what I mean?
I've been watching a lot recently, me, Jimmy, right? About
listening to you.
I've been watching a lot recently about this just being a simulation, man, right? And I know it sounds crazy, but the more you listen to the theories, what people bring, there's a big... Mate, I could see it. Do you know what I mean? 1 second. You all right? All right. Yeah, it should be, but I'll just put some... 1 second. I thought I put some on your bed. Yeah, there was a few pairs earlier. Yeah, I know, but if someone's not... All right, no worries. All right, Tassa.
Do you know what? Well, let me tell you this, Ian. You know, they talk about manifesting and the law of attraction and all that. You can change your reality by changing a frequency. Well, that kind of fits into all, because that blows my mind.
Me too.
I don't understand it. And they said, like, you can manifest your own reality through thoughts. And that blows my mind, really, because I don't understand how that works when you talk about manifesting and talking to the universe. I don't understand it. And
what I believe it to be, right, is positive thinking and not putting yourself down. That's what I kind of believe it to be. If you positively think, I ain't got a clue because it's not fucking working for me, mate, right? But if you positively think, then you're in touch with the fucking the ether. Was it you just shared that thing about the ether before, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And how they took it out in 1908.
Yeah, that Cultivate Elevate is a really good channel on Instagram. I don't know if they've got a YouTube channel, but Dr. Robert interviewed the bloke Matt on one of his things a while back. But yeah, go on about how they took the ether at the periodic table.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And before these times, right? They used to live off different. I don't know if you had more of a sense. Do you know what I mean? And we do. Where do I don't know. I can't explain it, mate. It baffles my mind. But I think I've googled it. I've watched videos about it, about manifesting, about the simulation. How can you benefit from the simulation we're living? And there's no real answer. But I just think it could be positivity. You'll be positive about what you believe and what you want, then it will come to be.
It just blows me mind. And how they said that how the world is now is a collective manifestation of all our minds. As though we have manifested the state of this world through human consciousness, our consciousness. We have manifested globally, collectively, this world as it is now. You know what I mean? So it really does blow my mind.
Well, what do you think, Ben, about the theory where there's actually only 10 months with 28 days in each month, right? So every month has got 4 Mondays and 4 Sundays and everything like this, because that's a cycle that our brainwaves are meant to be, but with the extra days of added on, because it used to be 10 months. It's blown my mind, that shit. But with them extra added on, we're in a total different stratosphere. We're not getting the same frequency as we should be.
We're knocked out of alignment in every way with the calendar year. They've changed the astrological calendar as well. They removed a sign from the zodiac. They've changed musical frequency from 432 hertz to 440 hertz. Did you see that video I posted yesterday about how since World War, since 1920, 9,000 bells have been destroyed in the world, and it was on about the healing frequency. This goes back to the something omitted from history that fascinates me. I don't know. I need to know more about it.
1 second, Jimmy, please.
Okay.
Yeah. 1 second, mate. I'm just locking the door behind me. So. He's right, yeah.
My airline went back. Oh, it's a way cheap on animal life.
Gangsters are going out, man, innit?
Fucking airline, bro.
That you gangsters. Ian's frozen. I'm interested in the Tartarian Empire, right? As Ian's face stays immortally frozen at the side of me. who have been omitted from history, and hang on, I think he's coming back in the room. Are you there, Ian? Are you with us?
Yes.
I'm interested.
The signal goes off a bit when I go out there, isn't it? To the left,
I'm interested in the Tartarian Empire. A lot of the really ornate buildings that you see in major cities around the world were reputed to be built by the Tartarian Empire. They are reputed to have built the Great Wall of China, not the Chinese, because the defensive slope is on the Chinese side, where really, if it was like kind of to protect China, the defensive slope would be on the other side of the wall. And they reckon most churches were built using sacred geometry, and everything from the stained glass windows to the bell to the organ inside the church. How the churches were designed was to generate a healing frequency. And before they were religious, they were like places of healing. And also, have you heard of these sound bowls? What people do, and it makes a frequency. Have you ever heard of that? Yeah. This spiritual thing where they do these sound bowls. Well, yeah, bells used to do a similar thing. The frequency a bell emitted was a healing frequency, but I need to get him on that bloke. I need to contact that bloke from Cultivate Elevate and get him on and have a good chat with him. And it was really going into depths about, you know, how like I said, everything's been distorted and changed. And also, like, what's really good for you is real linen sheets. Real linen sheets, if you can get them, are really healing for you. And it's mad as fuck.
It is, isn't it? Because everything's cotton now. Everything's cotton, and it has been for like last 100 or so years, isn't it?
Right. Oh, look at this. Hang on. David Jones has got cathode cathedral equals free energy. Healing centers. Churches weren't religious buildings at all. That's it blows my mind, all this kind of thing. You know what I mean? I need to like discuss.
Oh man.
You know,
I can believe, right, that. Go on.
Sorry, go on. It's okay.
I could believe, right, that. Sorry, I could believe, right, that church, the religious side of a church got taken over by the religion, because all religion is horrible, man. It's all bad, and it's all about war and money. That's all religion is, right? And mind control, innit? Do you know what I mean? But I really could believe that it was. I don't know, because when you just hear it, it's mad. Because you got the bells in churches, you got all the things on the windows. They're all in straight lines and everything. I know what you mean, all geometry about it. When you add it all up, do you know what I mean? It's unthinkable, isn't it? And why are we made?
I've just lost you there, Ian. It's not all churches, everybody. Sorry, Ian, I lost you then briefly.
Yeah, my signal's a bit bad, I think. Sorry, I'll go into something I didn't know what we're on about anyway.
No, so, David Jones says all the copper domes on buildings and factories were for free electricity. Red brick buildings were good conductors. It blows your mind, really. And a lot of these stately homes were built that way, where you could get free electricity. You talk about your gas is free, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. Well, all it is like a Faraday cage around the house, isn't it? So the Faraday cage will absorb the electricity from the lightning or the weather or something. I'd have thought, innit?
Well, I suppose, and they reckon the conducting rods as well. They weren't there for lightning striking the church. That was part of it as well. They was drawing energy out of the ether. I mean, Tesla came up with it, didn't he, back in the day? It's just fascinating.
Yeah.
How we have been fucked over as a species.
Well, Tesla got killed for discovering a cheaper form of electricity, didn't he? Yeah,
Who's
I
that?
mean,
Sorry.
Tesla, he got killed,
Well,
didn't he?
they bankrupt him, didn't they? And he ended up fucking living in an hotel room with a pot to piss in because it would have cost them a lot of money, wouldn't it? They were making money from the oil and also the timber for telegraph poles as well. They had a big an industry of making telegraph poles out of timber and stuff. So there's all these industries. What is free electricity? So we've reached a stage in history now where we're just fucking all broke, and we're all kind of like just being screwed into the ground.
Yeah.
And they're not happy till they keep turning the screw every year. You know what I mean? And that's where we're at now. You know.
How much longer do you think people are gonna put up with it?
I think people. So go on. Sorry.
I just think it's going to be like not our generation, it's going to be the next generation. It's going to be like 15, 20 years before out gets done about it.
I don't, you know what, the way things are now, and see, the thing is, I was talking to Dave Ellison about this today. You look now how a man has bred a wolf from a hunting fierce animal into like a fucking chihuahua that is weak and dependent on being fed because it can't fend for itself, it can't fight. Now that's what's happening. You look at men thousands of years ago who were all hunters, warriors, providers, and now a lot of men, me included, I can't really hunt. You know what I mean? I go to Tesco's. You know what I mean? But even worse than my generation, they've got people with blue hair who are vegan, who cry, who cry all day, really in touch with their feelings, and don't like being offended.
Don't know what sexuality we are. Anything in it.
They've taken. I think Nietzsche had some. I think I can't think of the quote verbatim, but Friedrich Nietzsche had some quote about what man has done to the wolf, society has done to man or something. I can't remember.
Oh man, yeah.
The fucking dog. You know what I mean?
That sounds good. That.
But basically, people are being that weak now, Ian, and bred to be so weak that what will happen? I was talking to Dave Ellison as well about this today. What will happen if we were to declare war with China and Russia? We'll have all these people with blue hair crying at the front line saying, I can't stay here, it's cold. And plus, I can't get a signal for Snapchat on my phone. I want to go home. Can we retreat, please? Or can we just surrender? Because everybody will be, there'll be no, there's not many kind of.
There's no fight. There's no fight. That's the thing. What they've done in many countries, they've took the fight away from the government and put it to the people. So the people are fighting against each other. They'll throw race into it. That's why we have wars all over the world to disrupt the whole world, because it does. Look at this shit, and I don't know if you can talk about it on here, if it'll get affected, but about Palestine and all that shit. Have you seen how blatant it's? How I don't know. I think nasty is the word the protesters get, and the police to stand by and say, "Oh, it's all down to protesting," but they'll walk up to someone and say, "You can't film here," but they'll let someone be total horrible. The law is fucked. The police don't know what they're doing. They're too young of the police. You haven't got a clue. Do you know what I mean? And man, I think there's so many changes.
I think it's a case of the toll. What right? It's basically not a level. It's not a level playing field.
It's not.
They're just they exercise the will of the power base are the people who pull the strings. You know what I mean?
Have you heard? I only watch the news through the fucking on YouTube, and it's got like news and it's got the raw there. That's all. I don't even click on it. I just look at the thumbnails as I'm going through. But the changed the tax now in Scotland, don't they? Right, where if you earn over 75,000, you're getting half of it, 50% tax.
Wow,
yeah, I know, innit, man. Before I think it's 100 and 150. They won't do it down in this country, but That's what I mean. There's no fight. There's no one stopping them. They can do anything they want. There's no people standing up together like they do in different countries and saying we're fighting together.
People are just weak now. Like I said, people have had all the spirit and the bant taken out of them now, and it's just a case of fuck it, whatever.
I can't do naught about it. What can I do?
You do what you want. I mean, I hate to sound paranoid, but have you seen, talking about 15-minute cities? Have you noticed now all the roads have been narrowed in?
I've noticed it in a lot of things.
You look at any new road that's being built on dual carriageway, and the roads are narrower, and I think that's so they can shut us in. I went around Manchester today, and I was noticing how narrow the roads are becoming narrower, especially these cycle lanes and shit, just taking up extra space. The roads are all becoming narrower, and it's like they're easier for checkpoints and for shutting people down. I don't know what anybody's thoughts on that, unless I'm paranoid.
Well, it's like they're corralling everyone into one way. Do you know what I mean? And I don't get why we're doing it as well, but I do believe they've got a plan, mate. I think they've got a master plan what's going to fuck us all over, and we're letting them do it in front of us. But I don't go out that much, man. So, do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's scary in a way, but then you think, how does it affect you now? It don't affect you now, does it? But
this is the thing you have to imply. You see, I mean. Some of the best advice I got years ago is I went up to somebody ranting and raving about chemtrails, and they turned around and said to me, Luke, said, how's this affecting your day? And when you think about it like that, I mean, see, the thing about life is, and it's the hardest thing to do, you live in the past and you get depressed, as they say.
Yep.
And you live in the future, you get anxiety. Or the future can cause depression as well. It's not exclusive to that, but you have to try and put yourself in the moment, and that's where I try to do more now, and not eat my heart out because this has not happened for me, or that's not happened to me, or such. Look at such a body, or he's got. The kind of views such a body's got, and there's all these kind of variants that can throw you off. You know what I mean? You know, it's hard. Fucking life is hard, isn't it? It's really, that's the top and bottom of it. It is hard and it's painful and it's depressing and it breaks your heart. More kind of sometimes everyday life will break your heart at some point.
Well, do you think that? Because I watch a lot of shit, and I'm sure you watch a lot of shit as well, all paranoid sort of stuff. But that affects how you think, because I look at that and I think, well, I believe that more than I believe what these are doing around here. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. I don't believe anything the government says. That's why I don't watch no. But when you watch these things about how the conspiracy things and all this lot, like I really believe a lot of them on me because I know how.
You know what? I do, but I don't. I've stopped watching it now because you have to ask yourself as well, Ian. I mean, we're not about you personally here, but I'm about me when I watched it. Let me just answer this question. John Hayworth, what did Will from Delaware think of the narrow roads over there when he visited? I don't know. I didn't ask him. I'll ask him if he comes on. But well, I've lost my fucking point. What was my point? Sorry, can you remember what my point was? Where we was in the conversation?
I'm struggling.
John Hayworth, you've thrown me off my course.
I'm struggling to remember conversation now, mate.
Where was we up to? Anybody? I can't remember. We was on narrow roads. We went further on. I think you're
going to say what happened to you. What people need to learn.
Yeah. Well, basically, I've stopped kind of watching all the conspiracy stuff, and I still believe in it. Oh yeah, I know what it was. That time spent researching, some of it's factual, and there's a lot of it what's just fucking paranoid drivel. So a lot of it is factual, and I will say that, and I believe in it, but there's actually people involved in it who are fucking bananas. Who say like, yeah, look at that triangle, or you know what I mean? Yeah, if you take the first letter out of Tom Hanks's name and the second letter, and you mix them up, and it, like in numerology, it's 6. Now, if you take his wife's name, it's 6, and you're just fucking. I'm just making this shit up. Really, to be honest with you, you can find a valid argument for anything. You could put a case together if you have the fucking time. You could put a case together for anything. You know what I mean? I mean, there's some the stuff I've heard, and it was like Princess Diana's not dead. She's David Furnish, Elton John.
I know. I was serious.
I was watching this video about cloning, and then I was kind of like, all right, and then you're just like, oh, you know what, you fucking pricks, you just wasted. So you have to just pick bits out of it, and it's good to know. But that time that you spend researching fucking is Princess Diana, David Furnish. It's Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney really died.
It's not, but you can't say, because I'm pretty sure I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say you should be out doing something instead of doing it.
No, I'm not on about you personally.
No, I know.
But I could be like I could be on a language app learning Spanish or something, which I'm trying to do now. I could spend that time trying to learn Spanish or play a guitar. Instead of going like, oh yeah, we need some more information to find out. Is fucking Princess Diana really David Furnish? Hang on, I'll go on Google and look at loads of pictures and compare them. God, it's really, you know what I mean? And it's like, I just think, why even fucking bother? And you know,
I know, mate. There's a lot of videos. I've seen a couple of videos about that topic, and you just make.
It's like Jennifer Aniston's a man, and Lady Gaga has died, and it's just.
You know, I try to watch now. I just try to watch things what make me laugh. That's all I want to watch, right? So I'll watch little fucking short videos, animal videos at best ones, but I'll watch like Kill Tony and things like that. I just want to laugh. That's all, man. Do you know what I mean? And that's, I think that's the old thing. What's gonna, what can win anything in well, is it laughing, man? If you can laugh about anything, then you're gonna be all right. I think.
It's just not filling your head with. I can fill my own head with shit. My head is full of shit. I don't need any more. You know, so I don't really. I know enough that I need to know about conspiracies, and you know.
Have you ever watched these conspiracy videos, right? Because they're like, I know, so I've watched so many of them, and I watch it. I'm like, well, the last video I saw there was something there, man, and you can see the brushed shit out and that, man. It's like, But no, you know, there is a time with conspiracy videos when you got to stop. I mean, you've got to stop because otherwise it blows your mind. But that Tartarian stuff, man, that is like. It's all unbelievable, man. When you look at the actual history, I don't know. It's like
not only that. I would like to go visiting a lot of Tartarian buildings because not only is it interesting, the beautiful buildings.
They're all over the country as well, aren't they?
They're all over the world. You know? I mean, look at most buildings now, and there's black cubes, and there's black cubes, and are just cubes, and this, and you go to Manchester, and it looks like some fat kids like got a load of Lego and built a load of shit, and all these buildings are disjointed. So there's no harmony. David Jones, Bolton Town Hall is Tartarian. Interesting. And they reckon the buildings as well were a lot taller. There was the mud flood, and a lot of the buildings. When sometimes you go past a building and you see a half window against the pavement, they reckon that the buildings were a lot taller, but there was some massive mud flood that kind of buried half of the building. It's very interesting to be fair.
Oh man, I've heard of that mud flood before, but I didn't realise that was it. But it does make you wonder, because sometimes there's 2 floors below that thing. Do you know what I mean? Like usually about to sell it, and then you've got something else blocked under there, and that one. That's mad. History's crazy, man.
Yeah, David Jones. Have you any more? Has anybody else got any knowledge of Tartaria that we can discuss? Anybody care to come on the chat who knows anything about David Jones? Would you care to come on? Or, you know, we've got 44 people watching this shit.
Educators.
Well, yeah, it's quite relatively educational shit tonight.
Yeah.
To be fair, 46 people now. But anybody would care to come on and join the debate? It's not a debate, really, is it? It's a discussion.
Yeah, that's it.
About Tartaria, depression, conspiracy theories. I don't know.
And I'll be all evolve into one.
So, you don't mind me asking you, are you on any like antidepressants at the moment? If you don't mind, if you don't mind me asking,
mate, yeah. I'm on like anxiety and depression in it.
Do you find it's working? Do you find it's doing anything?
No.
Is it the psychological aspect for you now, where it just can't...
it's because if I know, right, that if I come off them, I get, it's like it's wired into your brain, yeah. So you get physical like painful reactions coming from your brain. Do you know what I mean? It's horrible, man. I've done it a couple of times. I nearly did it other day, getting some bad advice off a drug worker, but I stopped it. But yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's something I know ain't benefiting me. I may as well drink and smoke and just fucking try and sort them two out. Yeah, but I can't stop them just like that. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Have you ever taken them?
I have, you know. I remember this woman fucked me head up years ago, and she drove me to tablets, you know.
Mm.
And I did 3 weeks on Prozac, and I lost weight. I felt constantly nauseous and sick, and eventually I couldn't feel anything. And I thought, you know what? I'd rather feel fucking depressed than be like this.
And that's them just getting into your system.
Yeah, and I just, they've never sat well with me, and I've always just believed that you, and now more than ever, I believe you have to tough it out. You know what I mean? Because I was kind of spoiled as a kid, and the word mollycoddled.
Yeah,
Wrapped in cotton wool off my mother. It's been quite deep here and honest, and that made me a bit of a mad. That made me a bit mad kind of thing. You know what I mean? And so I'm still learning about life and how to get through it, and but to be harder on myself. You know what I mean? And I have been a victim in the sense of woe is me, my life's hard. But I'm trying now to be accountable. Everything's on me. You can't knock on you can't point at a coffin and say, well, it's my dad's fault that I've smashed a shop window like cheesy how it was, isn't it? You can't keep pointing fingers to ghosts.
Yeah.
And saying like, you know, it's your fault. No, everything's my fault. If I'm a prick, no, it's my fault. I'm a prick. If I do something to hurt someone, I can't blame depression. I can't blame whatever. It's a nice excuse. This is the problem we have now.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody's been given a free pass. Oh, it's because of my Asperger's. I'm sorry about their outburst. It's my Asperger's.
I've been on and off these tablets all my life. I got my doctors used to throw them at me when I was like 18, man. I didn't even know I didn't know what depression was then. My doctors said, yeah, take these tablets every day. Do you know what I mean? And so that's from when I was 18. They've been telling me to take stuff like that. Have I needed them? Have they disrupted my life? Probably. And I didn't even realise it. Now I realise it. And I'm trying to get off them more than anything, because they're the worst things in my life, man. The pharmaceutical drugs, and I really do believe that. Because they grip you. They really grip you, man. They lock onto your fucking brain and everything, man. Because they're trying to change how your brain wires up together. So they're trying to wire it right in it with them tablets. That's what they do. So when you just stop taking them just like that, it just like the wire's ripping.
I would say, no, I can't tell you what to do.
I do it. I'm doing it anyway, but I know.
Basically, it's the fear of coming off them.
No, I've got that with weed and beer. I've got a fear of coming off weed and beer.
Is it not the fear of coming off tablets?
No.
Would you not?
Do you know what? I'm honestly, man, all in this last 6 months, right? I've realised that my doctors are just like, I've noticed it loads of times in my life, yeah. But we've just pushed these on me all my life, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Have I needed tablets? Probably not. Do you know what I mean? Would I be better? I've got myself clean off all drugs before, right? But I was still taking tablets. Yeah. Would I?
I am listening to you. I am listening.
I get stuck with it myself, mate. But I've said for the last 2-3 years, these tablets, man, I need to get off them. I just, every time I physically stop taking them, I never wean myself off, because I'm a creature of habit. So I'm in a habit of taking my tablet in the morning. Do you know what I mean? So to wean yourself off, you got to take a bit less. Do you know what I mean? Because I can't trust my doctors to do them. So I don't like going to my doctors anyway. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to doctors. I don't want to go to. David Jones says, "Put your email up, Jim. I'll send some pics over." I don't know what pics you're on about sending over, David. I've not even met you yet. I don't know. I don't. I'll tell you what, David. If you don't mind, I don't want to put my email up here for obvious reasons. I'll get bombarded with fucking dickheads sending me shit. But if you go to the Wigan Joker page and message me, I'll send you me. Or you go to Facebook and message me, I'll send you my email via that way, because Last Christmas, that sounds like a Wham song. Do you remember Last Christmas?
Last Christmas,
I had all that shit with them urbexes, and I called them all out, and they got me, and they was having pizzas sent to my house and fucking all this fucking mad shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't. People probably know my email anyway, just for security reasons. I'm not. Social security reasons. I'm not sending.
I'll give you it, man. It's Jimmy's the Main Man podcast, man. Right, at fuckyou.com.
Jimmy small penis at gmail.com. .net.
Sorry, that was just. It works well.
If anybody wants to donate, tell you what, while it's Christmas, if anyone wants to donate to the channel, I'll give half of the donations received tonight to Ian.
No, you don't have to do that, mate. You don't have to do that. Thank you, bro.
No, but if anything comes in tonight, I'm not saying it will, but you know.
No, I'm good. Thank you, but I really appreciate it, mate. But I'm trying to get that out of my head. It's not. Before, do you know when I got into my head about doing YouTube and money got in there, it ruined me, man, my channel and the way I looked at it, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, where with you, it don't, man. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just your personality, innit, mate?
Well, it's just I'm just, you know what I mean. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this donations thing and.
Mate, I know, right? This is what I'll say. Yeah, I know people will give you a load of shit, right, in past, right, and maybe still, I don't know, still, right, for taking donations. But what I don't understand is the people who give you shit have always got a donation link on the channel. And if people want to give you money, that's up to them. It's not up to people bullying them not to auto, is it? Do you know what I mean? And so, go on.
Do you know what I mean? I had a few people on Facebook. I asked for donations on Facebook, and I had somebody saying, "Why should I give you money for enjoying your content?" And it's like, would you see? There's no respect for you. It's like where they pay for a service like Netflix. See performance art and things.
They'll pay the TV license and shit like that.
People will argue about this. You know what I mean? You wouldn't phone a plumber up and say, "Come on, fit as a boiler." Fucking hell, what's only half an hour? It's only an hour's work. What do you want paying for that for? You know what I mean? But because of art, I don't word this art. Although it's kind of very important for human beings. There's no way I can get like bearing this is being a bit pretentious. But
No, 'cause it is.
I'm not saying this is fucking great art. I'm just saying that art in general is important for humanity. It's not as important as a doctor or a nurse or a bricklayer. But
How do we know most of...
important? It's still important. But because these people are just pigs and maggots, they don't understand that. And they call it e-begging, which I get to a certain extent. But especially if you're just a live streamer, all right. If you're just a live streamer, I get people calling them e-beggars because all you're doing is talking into a camera, and although that's interesting, it can be interesting if you can speak properly. But if you create other content like I do, you know what I mean. I am kind of offering something. It's like when a man sat on a rug outside Asda saying, "Have you any spare change?" He's offering you nothing other than to help him, theoretically find something to eat. However, more than likely nowadays they all have houses and just buying beer and drugs with it, which is up to them, innit?
Yeah.
So where they're offering you nothing, I suppose people like me are offering something. But if I have the audacity to say, look, do you mind contributing towards all my trouble for years and 16 years? Do you mind contributing to that? Because I make nothing. I make nothing in monetization. You know what I mean? I must make a couple of pound a year because I don't get the views. I've not got the subs. You know what I mean? A lot of my subs, you see, I've got 5,000 subs. We're going back 16 years. I should imagine half of them people are dead accounts. Not dead, but them accounts.
I know what you mean.
They're all old. So Luke's always got 5,000 subs. Talking over a 16-year period, and half of them are just fucking now they're not used anymore, defunct, and there's only I don't know what percentage are active. Well, the point being, what angers me is that these cunts are you fucking don't think you're asking for money, you cheeky bastard. And it's not that I'm asking for money, I'm just asking for recognition in the finance. It's not asking for recognition in the form of finance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a tipping a busker or something.
Well,
I don't know.
You've got to look at it this way as well, right? How many, right? Podcasts, right? Because that's what you've got. It's not a live stream. You've got a podcast, man. Yeah, you have people on all the time, man, and that's what you've always done. Yeah, in my opinion, anyway. Do you know what I mean?
You bear with all this. You carry on talking. I'm listening to you. I take my eyes away from things. I'm just replying to something. Okay, but I'm listening. No,
but the difference between a podcast and a live stream, like you said, isn't it? Unless you're putting things out there. But my first thought was actually, it's like, do you know, if you go to a comedy club, you're paying for your night at that comedy club, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So if you watch a video and you're able to, right, why not just give that money and not moan about it? If you want to give it or you don't want to give it, why moan about it either way?
Do you know what? You know what pisses me off as well? Like, people will begrudge coming to see me at a show. Right, I mean, I can't say. I'm being honest here, and I don't give a fuck.
I really wanted to make this, I just couldn't get there.
If nothing, I am honest. That people won't buy tickets to come and see me, or if I charge more than a tenner for a ticket. I mean, we did that boxing show recently. What was for the money went to we didn't raise that much, but what we did raise went basically to the gym. And that was 20 quid. Now, Peter Kay does a fucking show and they'll pay £100 plus for a ticket and run all over the country to see him. And people, all these maggots will just jump out. You're not as funny as Peter Kay. You're not this and all that. And you're not as funny as Paul Smith.
But are you trying to be? You're trying to be as funny as Jimmy? Yeah. That's what you're trying to be.
These people, these people have big machines behind them of publicity, and I don't. and I'm on the peripheries of things, and I'm a journeyman. I've been thinking recently, although I started back doing gigs, I'm only going to do a few gigs. I'm not gonna even bother. I'm not even going to bother. Hello, Will. I'm not even going to bother like putting myself because I'm not going to lower myself to beg for gigs. You know what I mean? But I'll do them if they come in. But I'm not gonna. And Will know. It's just there's no respect for you at this level. It's like they don't want to pay for anything from you. They don't want to contribute to you. They don't want to support you. And it just makes you bitter. You know what I mean? But that's the way it is. Do I stop? I can't stop because it's who I am.
Yeah.
And many times I've tried to stop creating. Many times I'll stop it. I'll fuck it all off. When I try to do that, I'm a worse person for it because it's what I do and it's who I am. It's not a case of there's a lot of people who get involved in creativity. They want to be famous, but them kind of people come and go because as soon as they realise it's hard and it's heartbreaking and there's going to be years and years. If people don't do it in 6 months, they go fuck that. There's so many people come and go, and we'll tell you in acting, comedy, in music, they get involved. They go, yeah, we'll get a band together, we'll get a record deal, and we'll be we're global, we're playing. And then 6 months, 12 months later, 18 months later, there's nothing happening. They're playing toilets, and then that's when most people say, "Fuck this." And
it's like, what would you
years of playing toilets?
What would you fill that time with if you weren't creating? What would you do instead? Do you know what I mean?
I'd be a whisper, and it has been proven in my life. I am a worse person when I'm not doing these things. When I'm not even making YouTube videos. When I just go through these periods of fuck this shit, and I don't do any of it, and then my mind goes to pieces because I'm not fulfilling me. I'm not fulfilling who I am.
I get you, mate. I do 100% get you.
And it's frustrating that the people won't support you. People won't help you out. People won't come to shows. People, you know what I mean? It's and what really infuriates me while I'm on the subject is these people say, "Can you not put your stand-up online for me?" So the stand-up was the only way you can get your revenue, but they can't even come to a fucking show and support you because they can't be asked because no, just put it online and I'll watch it and put all your material online so everybody uses it up. So you'll have nothing different for people to see, but I'll be able to watch you, and I'm doing you a favor by watching you. You know what I mean? And it boils me piss, to be fair.
That's why you need to do what you're doing and just do what you want and not what others want, and that's it, innit? Easy, Will. You good, my man?
I'm good, man. I've been listening to you guys this whole time, and it's actually been a pretty good conversation, to tell you the truth. I was learning a lot about when you were talking about the Selvia, and he was like, He had a whole wife and kids and lived in underwater for 6. What the fuck is that about?
You know what? I think I've been smoking salvia looking at your background. It's all blurred.
I did that because it's such a fucking mess.
I like it. I like it.
I want to touch on what you were saying, Jimmy, about just what we were talking about now. Is that just to add on to that? I think a lot of the problem is when I was in film school, people would tell us, give away what you do until you're so good that you can't give it away for free. And we kind of did that with this YouTube revolution. And now everybody is under the belief that, well, I deserve this.
Why should I pay now?
Yeah.
I've actually had that where people have said, and they go, well, why should I come and watch you when I can sit at home and watch you? And it's like, and like I said, but like I just said, and like a named comedian, they'll pay £100 a ticket and go they'll travel across the country, see them. But so like people they wouldn't cross the fucking road to see me, you know. And it just makes me angry, and it makes me think, well, why should I go out my way to put? I don't want to put my own shows on anymore. They're nothing but a fucking hassle. You have to deal with the other acts. You have to worry about the audiences, the person on the door. Are they going to fuck up and leave people to just walk in? the venue. The venue's going to be fucking idiots, which 99.9% of venues are run by fucking idiots. And I you know, and there's all that to deal with. You know, I'll if somebody wants me to do stand up, I'll do it, and I'm happy to do charity shows. I enjoy doing it. I just don't enjoy the hassle and the bullshit, you know. And
I get it 100%. I remember a couple of weeks ago I did a live on Facebook, and you're like, "Hey, where was it?" And I told you, I'm like, "Well, I take them down after about an hour." And the reason why I do that is because it's like I always did it when we did movie night lives. If you were not there, like it's gone. It's part like you're part of an exclusive club. There's like an exclusivity if you're there watching the whole thing. And if you're not, you know, you get at least an hour or two to kind of try to catch up on it, and then it's gone. And because a lot of people would be like, you know, let me watch that again. Let me watch that again. And you're giving, you know, people don't understand. I know for me with movie night, you know, I personally, I know I got some stuff from the theater, but I spent probably a couple $1,000s, but it was because I wanted to do it.
yeah.
And the more I started doing it and trying to make it more professional, the more I learned that, holy shit, this is a fucking hard thing to do. I am writing, I am trying to act and be funny. I'm trying to create skits and shoot it all, and there's always a problem that happens, you know. It's a mess. So like, you know, when people like you and me, Jimmy, are e-begging, it's not so much to e-beg, but we feel like, hey, you know, throw us a bone. We're giving you guys free content.
Exactly. That's it. You see, I mean, as you said, traditional beggar offers nothing, but we actually offer something. So it's like saying, please just help a brother out as a kind of you know what I mean? You just
support me. Yeah, support me. Hey, you know, I'm doing this. If you really like it and you really want to help me, hey, support me, because now I don't have to go and do X, Y, and Z. And as far as the comedy shows go, like, look, you know as well as I know, a comedy show is a hell of a lot different than being in person than watching a YouTube show. It's like you really get into the atmosphere. And look, I get it. Not everybody has money, and not everybody can go to every show. But like, you know, I've gone to comedy shows recently where, like, you know, nobody was there for me, and I'm like, well, fuck, you know, I thought I had friends here, you know.
But you know, so the amount of people will say, "Yeah, I'll be there," and on the night, it's like, you have a list of excuses from my grandma turned into a chimpanzee, or
beaten off, you know,
just fucking all that. I agree with you, 100% support people. But yeah, it's at 20. Thank you very much. Can I have a round of applause, please, to Artistic Man? You know what I mean? But do you find in America it's harder to get donations off people than the UK?
So
I'll tell you what, Will, put your PayPal up if you've got one. Now you buy me.
No, we don't need to do that. I'd rather you're giving me the platform. I'd rather everybody. It's Christmas. Donate to Jimmy. He deserves it. Or Ian. Give it to Ian too. I'm
Give it to these two, man. You put a lot of content up and you've earned it, man. I don't, man. I'm all right. You used to have earned it, and I know it.
Well, you know, I mean, it might seem. You know, it might seem like I'm all I'm trying to do tonight, basically, is justify why we do it. I'm trying to illustrate to people, you know, why we said that, why we said this,
because like, we can't do anything else. This is what we're born to do. Well, it's what I'm born to do. It's the only thing I'm trained. Let me tell you something. I went in for a job interview today. God, I can't believe. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is going to make me look like a piece of shit. For Dunkin' Donuts, because nobody will hire me. I go to job interviews and I'm either overqualified or I'm underqualified. There is no in between. And so I have to take these jobs just to make money, you know, because I've been unemployed for a year. And it sucks because you go to these job interviews and they look at your resume and they go, why do you want to work here?
Yeah. You're degrading yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, well, and it is, but you know, it's like you got to do what you got to do. But like, they'll look at you and be like, "You've worked on this movie, you've done this, you've done this, you've done that. Why do you want to work at Foot Locker?" You know, and then
one takes. Hello, John, good lad, 61. Shout out to you. Will Devorkis, that is Will's YouTube link there. If you want to get onto Will's channel, check out his new show. What he does, well, it's not a new show; it's a new series of the show, Moving Art. What he does, you know what I mean. But that's all I'm trying to do is explain to people this e-begging thing. Now I get it. I mean, TikTok especially. You have people who'll sit there for 20 hours a day saying, "Send me some money, send me some money, send me some money." I don't do that. I would not spend. I don't even go on TikTok. I have a presence on TikTok, and I don't really like it. It's that John's going to subscribe to you. Check out the Moving Art show, John. John,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say the latest episode of Will's Moving Art show has an interview with
CJ Graham.
CJ Graham, who played Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th Part 6. But
I watched the one where last year I think it was, and it was another horror film guy, and it fucking it wasn't Robert Englund, but it was someone like him, and you interviewed him.
Well, you've got loads. I want to see the one with.
I watched a few.
Just fucking that Latino.
Robert Lizardo.
I want to see that one. You know what I mean, kind of thing.
It's a good one. I mean,
yeah.
I will. We had an issue. So this is another thing is sometimes when you're making something, problems happen. So that's what I'm going through right now, trying to fix certain issues with, the set that fell apart last night while trying to shoot, so. And another thing is I do a lot of this all by myself. I have like nobody here to help out, which is fine. But like, when I had friends that were able to come over and help and be on set and roll camera, and it was great. It was easy. I could kind of go through it. But there's a lot of work that goes into what we do, and I know my show's a lot different than Jimmy's show, but Jimmy's show is very much like, hey, it's quick, it's fast, it's comedy off the top of his head, and you can't really get that with my show. It's complete. My show's kind of boring and bland, and you have to sit through.
I think you should stop putting yourself down, and I don't mean
it is fucking boring. I mean, like nobody wants to sit through.
No, it's fun. It's fun, man. The way you put it about, and you've got different. It's like it's got a 90s look on how you've done the cameras in different places and stuff like that, and how you've done the interviews and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry,
I like it. Sorry, Jimmy. Go on.
Sorry, mate. I would just say that there wasn't one moment in that hour and a half where I thought I'll skip. I'm fucking bored.
But Americans, when they look at it, they're going to be like, "Where's the tits?" It's like it's instantly like, "All right, is your nudity? No, oh fuck." So
even I did when I first looked. That is what I expected, but it's not what I've seen. But I still enjoyed what I've seen. So
I'm glad you enjoyed it at least. I mean,
yeah, you know what I mean. But
I wanted to do, and this is the thing. This is what I tell everybody: movie night. Why do I have the way I've done it, and why aren't I just doing it like this? And it's because I wanted it to feel like a legitimate talk show. I wanted 3 or 4 cameras switching between each other. I wanted to have an interview subject and goofy skits and stuff like that. And that's just who I am, It's not for everybody, but it is for me. So, I'm glad that some people enjoy it.
I just want to say, though, it's like you just said you had some things got damaged yesterday, wasn't it? Or yesterday, yeah. The things with you creating, you're going out of your way. Jimmy goes all over the country creating, man. Do you know what I mean? You do all what you do and everything. It costs a lot of money. Fuel is way expensive, man. Mistakes like that, man, that could have ruined you and your channel. Do you know what I mean? If you didn't have help coming through it, or if you did, it'd help you guys more, didn't it?
The thing that helped me is when I was employed, and whenever I had a job, when I left the theater, or the theater laid me off, I had at least money coming in. And then when I was doing freelance gigs, I still had money that I could throw towards it. And now it's like it's almost impossible to do it, But I still try to get it done because I enjoy it. Now, the difference between Jimmy and say like what are they called? The TikTok beggars, is they just kind of sit there and do nothing and just kind of like, hey, I'm hungry, feed me, and then you send something, and they get a lot of money, and good on them because they're making a living. I mean, I know I couldn't do it. Like, who the fuck would want to give me that?
Andrew Tate made a very valid point in a recent video I saw. I didn't think he was making new videos, but he said, "We live in an age now where talent is irrelevant. It's about how much attention you can generate and get." So really, you see on TikTok, you'll see a fat man dancing in a nappy. Seriously, what will that have 7 million views? We'll put something up. Even I put something up. Even somebody will write a song, or somebody will do something legitimate that's took time, hours, the 10,000 hours of practice, where you can get just some fucking half-wit. No, like rubbing cake into the hair, or just drawing all over themselves, and it'll garner more attention than a legitimate. And it's the same with boxing. A lot of boxers, you know what I mean, have trained for years from being little kids, and they've gone through the rigor and the discipline, the pain of being a boxer, and they've probably got nowhere, and they're probably getting a few £100. They can get £1,000 for a fight, but they'll spend half of that on training and food, blah blah blah. And you get these fucking YouTubers who can't box for shit. They'll come straight in and
sell out shows.
And they're selling out, and they're selling at arenas, but and it's just shit. But and that's what's happening there. Everything good is being replaced by shit. But people just want to watch shit.
It's took proper creative people and put people who think everybody's creative together. Do you know what I mean?
It's taking it back to the days of the starving artist, really.
I remember. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Jimmy.
No, that's
I'll tell you the difference is I remember there was a day where you had to have some sort of training to use Adobe Premiere. You know, if you open it up, it's like Greek salad. It's like, what the hell? How do I function? And they've made it so simple, stupid, and easy now because they want it for the everyman. They want to make, they want to get. It used to be you had to buy this, you had to buy the program, and now it's like you have to subscribe per month, which is like, oh, it's fucking worse.
That's the model. That's the model now, isn't it? I mean,
and when you're spending $60 a month on editing equipment, like, holy shit, that really hurts.
That's a loan editing, yeah.
So is that the shit with it? I know Microsoft Word now is a subscription. And one time you get a disc through the post, and then throughout there you go. That's Microsoft Word till next update, till next fucking Windows 11, 12, 15, whatever. But now it's a subscription. And this is the way everything's going. It's subscription based. You'll own nothing and be happy and all that kind of shit. But exactly what's the point of you doing that when you can run around the supermarket with a fucking Batman mask on and just throwing fucking tins of pears around and you know what I mean?
Just follow some. Yeah.
I've been very fortunate in the fact that they've been giving a lot of roles away to these influencers who don't have a lot of talent. And I'm not saying I'm like the most talented motherfucker in the world, but Jimmy's got training. I've got training, in acting. And I've been auditioning a lot more than I ever have auditioned in my life. I'm not really booking as much as I would like, but I'm still auditioning, which is still a part of the battle. But when they're going after these people who just, they're just, again, like Jimmy says, they're sat in a nappy, shitting themselves and laughing about it, and then they're getting a $1 million deal to be the spokesperson for Depends or something. It's like, well, shit, But and it's same thing with horror films. Almost all these horror films now, I see a lot of TikTok stars in, and they're okay. They're not great, but and big on them. They got the role. But it
they know we've got 1 million people following them, and it's like 1 million people are going to be watching this, and it's wrong how it's done. But like you said before, it was a conversation started by we're not looking for talent no more. It's talent. I get it even more now.
You know what? Something I worked out over 12. I said I was doing stand up for 15 years, then I realised I did COVID so it's not 15 years. It could have been.
1 second, Jimmy. Sorry, 1 second. I just want to say it's $5.99 with adverts. If you get it at that rate, it's got adverts as Netflix. Right, okay. It's $10.99 if you don't want adverts.
All right,
minimum.
Okay.
Yeah, it's well expensive now, man. It's ridiculous.
I forgot my fucking point now.
Sorry, Jimmy. Mate. Sorry.
I forgot my point, but basically, I've got my point. A lot of films being made. People have got onto the fact that they call it content. Now, content doesn't necessarily mean it's good. It just means they're regularly producing stuff Content is just stuff. Here's another video I've made today. Here's the 5th video I've made today. And I think Will agree. A lot of films now are becoming content.
Well,
a lot of films that are coming out now are more like content because they're not very good. The scripts are shit. They're just predictable and generic. And I'd say a lot of films what are coming out are boring. And I don't know if Will agrees with me on that, but a lot of the films I see, I switch off after 10 minutes, and it's like,
me too. The shit, mate. The shit.
I don't know what's your thoughts on that, Will?
Well, I mean, a lot of this is they're trying to make a statement, and I think you should make statements in film. I mean, I think you should, but you should also make it entertaining, and not if it's thinly veiled and you're making a statement and not just jamming it down somebody's throat, But that's what you're getting, and then a lot of people, there's not a lot of tender love and care put into it. I mean, think about the fucking 80s. Movies were wild. I mean, fucking wild and well written, mostly well produced. Do you think? Let me ask you this: do you think you could make a movie like First Blood today, or do you think if you made it, people would get offended because he was in war? It's the same thing as the 70s, but
and you know what? Health and safety wouldn't probably allow them to do it, to jump off a cliff onto a tree and stuff like that. And
well, what about even a £1 million budget? A £1 million budget, is that what it did at that fight? I don't even think it was that. I think it was like 800,000 we did that for, wasn't it?
I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah, I mean, and nowadays it's costing hundreds of millions to make a movie.
Just Bob says that's why a lot of films are flopping, because they're producing content films with walk. Yeah, exactly. Hasn't Disney lost billions or millions?
Warner Brothers too.
People are switching off. You said Marvel. Did you say Marvel? Then Will people are switching off from Marvel and Disney and stuff, and
it used to be a couple of years ago when Marvel, like Iron Man first came. I went and saw every one of those in theaters. Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2. I stopped because it was just like it's too much. Like I would go see Iron Man, but I would also go see a movie like Seven, or what was that one movie they made? I can't think of it. I would see a more lesser known independent type of movie, or a movie that's not well known. Everything is blockbuster.
Low budget.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the now, so there used to be low budget, and big budget movies, and then they had the blockbuster, and now it's like, to really get anywhere, these no budget movies are really kind of making some noise, but they're just poorly produced, and usually they're not well written. So I don't know. I don't like to think of myself as an expert in this kind of thing anymore, because it's changed so much since I kind of was learning about it.
Sorry, Will.
Go ahead.
I've been watching these interviews about the Spotify contracts.
Yeah.
Right? They give you a certain amount of money, but you've got to put so much content out. We're not bothered what it is. It's people like Bert Kreischer and that, they're just putting shit out, man. Do you know what I mean? Because they've already been paid for it. Do you know what I mean? We don't really give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? All we've got to do now. Go on.
TikTok is doing the same thing. If you think about it, people are posting. Like, this is what I hate, is when I see somebody like watching, like Jimmy will post a video and then somebody will sit there and watch and just nod their head and then be like, and what the fuck is that? Do we really need that in the world? We need somebody to take his art or Jimmy's art, repost it, and then just have them nod and agree.
Yeah, and most of the reactions are just like, really, you wouldn't react like that, would you? It's just fucking.
They do my editing. They do my editing videos. Sorry. They do my editing videos, man. Because as they're showing the clips, man, I'm like, oh yeah, this is interesting. I'm able to stop it and talk about it. There's a couple of watch, man, right, and they do my editing, but I like what we're talking about. So you've got like. It
is true, because there are people whose whole YouTube career, they make money from this, where they sit there and they go, hi, this is Jimbo, Bob, Danny Frank, and I'm here to we're gonna watch this fight between Martin Redding and Jimmy O'Neill. And then like a bit of it'll play, and you'll hear Martin go, "Fuck off!" And then the guy will pause it and be like, "So that was Martin Redding telling Jimmy to fuck off." and then he'll hit play again, and then something else.
Well, you should sketch that. Why don't you? Why don't you see that? This is where real comedy comes from. It's conversational, and but write that down and just do do a bit about observation. Fucking, like you write reaction videos.
Timestamp that.
Write that down.
I'm writing it down. You know what I also
laugh. See, sometimes people say something to me what they've crafted, and I'll go like, I'm getting nervous. But that made me laugh. That's funny. That so you just transpose it obviously to something.
Go on.
Some cunt reacts to baking a cake, and now she's turned the oven on.
Exactly. Those who are watching, I don't know if you know this or not, but she just turned the oven to 350.
Yeah, my grandmother has an oven similar to that. Do you notice she's just opened the pastry and it's from Dollar Tree?
Have you seen these acting coaches on Instagram right now? Like they're all feuding against each other because they're all talking shit on each other. They're all like, "Oh, don't join their class, join my class. Not this and not that." And like they always like kind of like clip each other, and like one will start talking and then they'll be like, "Oh, can you believe what they?" I want to spoof that. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I want to spoof that.
Let me tell you this. While I want to talk about this, acting coaches, right? This is my controversial decision. No, what I've come to is that you can't teach it, and acting is it's charisma. You think you cannot buy that. You cannot teach it. You're born with it, or you either have an on-screen presence, and that is what determines you. Great actors. You can have somebody with no charisma who's very technical and remembers all the lines verbatim straight away within 2 minutes and knows all the blocking and things like that. It doesn't account for shit. You can't see. Acting's really simple in a sense because it's just you. It's your energy. It's your energy. And these people are just trying to hoodwink you and mystify it so they can make a career out of it. So you get some fucking weirdo in an old fucking polo neck going, "Yeah, I'll do that again." You know what I mean? But fucking, it's charisma, and I think it's really simple. And obviously, it's a discipline, and you have to learn it. But
it's a confidence thing. It's a confidence as well.
It's dead easy. You have to learn how to. But I just think you don't need a teacher for that. You just. I don't think you need it. Looking back, and I think, well, what did I actually learn for all that money I spent? You know what I mean? Or perhaps make sure your lines change, your cadence changes, so you're not looking at one level, and that's about it, really.
The thing that I learned about acting that I always held close to me, and I think I told you this, Jimmy, and I learned this from a movie. I didn't learn this from any acting. I learned this from a movie called The Stuntman. Is listen. Just listen. And I learned that if you listen to the other actor and what is being said to you and you react accordingly, like you said, it's make-believe. We're playing make-believe.
Yeah.
You can flub your line. You can change the whole bit of dialogue. You shouldn't. But like you could make it your own as long as you're listening and reacting accordingly. I took an acting class and it was like, all right, today we're going to pack the invisible suitcase.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this for 2 hours?
Yeah. Exactly.
I've thought about doing an acting class loads of times through my life, but my point is confidence, man. You two are rimming with confidence in acting.
I've not got confidence. I don't know.
I fake it. Like my orgasms, I fake it.
I wear it as a mask. I'm not confident. I'm the most insecure person. I'm racked with self-doubt about everything I do. You know what I mean? And so it's. See, do you know what was interesting? Like, it's a good conversation. What was interesting? I watched Arnold Schwarzenegger's documentary on Netflix, and at the end he goes, "All that crap I used to talk about being the greatest, I never even thought that. I used to look at my body and say, look at this fucking shit." You know what I mean? And you always thought when Arnold, he thinks he's the greatest.
Yeah.
Wow, he must be superhuman for a thing like that. But it's all schma. It's all bullshit.
It's The mindset.
You know, and it's kind of like it's true. Every human being has self-doubt and insecurity. We're all made of that stuff. But if you can convince people that you've not got it, then people will look at you like. Because if you hire a tradesman and he comes to your house and he goes, "Oh, God, I'm not sure I can do this," or yeah, you go, "Fuck off, get out." You know what I mean? But if somebody comes in, "Yeah, oh, I've done loads of these," stay back. You know, and but inside him, I'm thinking, "Fuck." But if you evidently see someone or you interview somebody for a job, they go, "Well, I think I could give it a go." Yeah. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, yeah. But if somebody comes in and exudes confidence, you go, it makes you relax. But if not, you know, what I'm trying to say and going around the houses is we're all. I have no confidence, really, deep down to the core of me. Will's just said although there's flamboyant front and all that, but so don't think, Ian, that people are we're no further on than you. The only difference is we kind of made a step to do it. You know, and
you made different choices, man. I did drugs for a lot of years.
You're still young enough, Ian. You're not.
Yeah.
You're still young enough. You still have your health to do things. You know, this is how it is.
Yeah.
There's people who have been sat in pubs all their lives who are funnier than they would have been funnier than any of the comedians you've seen on television. The difference is they never got up there to put themselves out there. There'll have been musicians who never left the bedroom who could have equaled any of the greats who never put themselves out there. Right, and there's loads of people out there who was really fantastic at either acting, singing, whatever. They never put themselves out there. We've put ourselves out there. You know what I mean? And there's people who put themselves out there. Does it mean they're better? Does it mean that they're the best, the greatest? No, it just means they're the great, they're the best, it's a perceived best of who put themselves out there. Not of a worldwide collective of people.
Also, you got to remember, you know, even though me and Jimmy have put ourselves out there, you know, a lot of people don't understand that we took a beating. You know, whenever you put anything out there, people automatically try to go after you and they attack you and they talk really mad shit on you and all this stuff. But in reality, they're either jealous or they're insecure. And they try to make and this happened a lot to me. And when I was in school, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you know, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, blah, 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 blah," because they saw me as competition or saw somebody else's competition and they would try to like psych them out to get them to quit or to move on because, you know, in this job field, it is really, well, there's more jobs now than there has ever been before because there's so much streaming and cable still and movies being made. You just don't make the money that you used to, though, unfortunately. Thank you, Autistic Man. I appreciate it. But, you know, Jimmy and I, like, I know I can speak for myself. I mean, I know me and Jimmy have had conversations, but people will come and attack you for no reason. And it does get to you. It's, you know, trust me, it'll make you feel like shit. You start questioning, well, am I really good at this? I mean, I had a teacher tell me that I wasn't funny. I was a young stand-up comic, you know, trying to be an actor, going to film school and special effects makeup school. And I was told, you're not funny. You're never going to be funny. Stop trying to be funny. Get the fuck out of here. You know? And they were, you know, my dream was to be on Saturday Night Live, you know, which is a show that's not that funny in my opinion anymore. But
biggest thing in America, boy.
It is. It's huge, but like, you know, the humor's give or take. It's subjective. I mean, I think it's a great show and it's lasted for a long time, but I think, you know, it could be a little bit funnier.
Only because of when it originated, that's the only reason it's lasted, because that's when it was good with the proper comedy, with proper comedians, and it's been run through, and now it's just a part of America.
Yeah.
Can I just, sorry, Will, go on. Hello, John.
Yeah,
We'll get to you in a minute, John. Sorry, we're mid-floor. Sorry, Will, go on.
I'll say this. Lorne Michaels, he knows how to run the show. He's been running it for like 40 fucking years. So, you know, it's like, what do I know? But like, I would love to be a part of that cast. I'd love to be part of that writing team. Maybe make it better. See if I can.
Do you know what? Let me just say, I know when that teacher said to you, "You're not funny," it really hurt you. and it
Oh,
really,
yeah.
it really sucker punch you. That. Let me tell you something. Somebody said to me, I went seeing a counsellor just after my father died, and this is really unethical. But he said to me, I was 45 years old, and he said it's over for you now. And this counsellor actually said to me, it's over for you now.
What?
And I know, right? No, we'll add that. I've got over that now, but at the time, I had that in my head. It's over for you now. So there are these people out there who will say things to you, and you have to just get over it and realize the reasons for saying that. What was the motivation for saying that? Because perhaps they didn't do anything. You know what I mean? I mean,
it's inner issues like we were talking about before. People put you down because they've got inner issues. They look at you because they know they can bully you for your inner issues to not show theirs. I've had it all my life as well, guys. Do you know what I mean? I know it's that deepest conversation for us all, I think, man. Do you know what I mean? But
let me just say something. Veering off subject. I'm looking at John smoking his cig down there. You look like an Urbex Alan Watts, the philosopher. You look like if Alan Watts did Urbex in. Yeah, I was talking about fucking Buddha. I was taking out Buddha's book. Fuck it off, mate.
We're going to go down that brook and we're going to fucking give it a good time. If you don't like it, fuck off.
These two fucking Buddhists came over giving it the big and I fucked them.
And if you don't like me smoking, you can put it in your pipe and fuck off.
I like that, John. Are you well?
I'm very well. How are you?
Have you been listening to the conversation? Have you any thoughts?
I've got lots of thoughts. Yeah. Great conversation, guys. Really good. You know, I was just thinking about you were talking about films earlier, and I love film. Hollywood just want to they want to regurgitate everything all the time, constantly regurgitate. You know, like Will, you said earlier about Rambo. You know, and then there's been a big gap, and then they did another one and another one. Never been as good as the first and even the second one.
No, and do you know what? I was talking to Dave Ellison today about that, and I said the other ones, even I enjoyed them as a kid, but they haven't aged well, and they're pretty rubbish. From a kid's point of view, they're brilliant. The man running about with a gun and stuff, but the first film is such a standalone, brilliant film. I realise why I did it we can spin this out for a few more films and that, but that first film is like magic, innit? You know what I mean? There's so much going on in it.
If they're doing all this now before Stallone died, wait till he dies. How many more films going to bring out? Rambo's son, all of this, man. We're going to bring grandsons.
Rambo's son, sorry.
They made Rambo's Son. It was not a very good movie.
I know, I've seen it, mate.
It was Son of It was terrible. It was a fucking horrible movie.
Son of Rambo, wasn't it?
But we're going to do things like that after he dies, never mind before he dies. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, have you heard that thing with Howard Stern? He said when he dies, he's deleting all of his content because he owns every bit of his content. Did you know that, no?
Didn't know that. I need to really watch Howard Stern. I need to, I feel. You know
I've been watching a lot of him, man. I've been watching about Artie Lang. I've always heard of him, never really watched it, but I've been watching a lot of his podcasts and stuff from like the 90s and stuff and like that, man. I've been really like, how the fuck do you get away with that? It's them sort of days, man.
But you know what? He won't do it now. He's a lot different now.
Yeah, he's changed all of his ways now, hasn't he? Apparently.
You have to box clever, don't you? You have to cut your cloth according to the times.
Yeah.
It goes back to what you were saying earlier. Like, it was different times. You know, like you were saying, well, in the 80s, they pushed the boundaries in film, and even before that, but they pushed it to that limit, and then it just stuck. And now they're trying to better it, trying to make it more. How can you put it? More sort of edgy. But the edginess is gone because we've seen it all before now. It's like, I watch a horror film, and I'm waiting for something to happen I haven't seen before. Don't fucking happen.
Do you know why we do that? Because every one of us thinks about how when we was younger, what we watched when we was younger. I do it all the time, yeah. And when we bring remakes out, I'm like, oh man, I need to watch the original. That was shit. You know what I mean?
All of you watched the new Exorcist film?
No,
I haven't yet. No, is it worth it?
It's fucking shit.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
There we go.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of that. I would like to be a fan of the horror genre because it's just me. But one of the scariest horror films for me is The Exorcist, the original, because it relies on psychological terror. It doesn't rely much on CGI because there was no CGI, but everything about that film is very unsettling. You know, it'll cut to two dogs fighting, and there's a really unsettling running through that film kind of thing. But for me, that's one of the most scary horror films, and even the kid and everything. I mean, for the time, what was coming out with the language, you know, and for me that and the original Omen film as well, where the nap goes onto the roof and says, "This is for you, Damien," and just hangs herself, and it's like that is really kind of unsettling. But now it's just like I don't know, it's just.
I liked all the Christopher Lee vampire films and stuff like that. 80s and 70s like horror, mate, was. I remember I've just started this last year remembering about watching Christopher Lee and horror and Dracula and stuff. And when you've got like Tales of the Unexpected and all of this kind of stuff, man, do you know what I mean? It's like all of them things was in that horror sort of genre. But when it went into like 90s, your Blair Witch era and your fake Tom Cruise Dracula and all that, man, and it fucked it all up. And the proper really just commercialized it to me. And now Dracula, all these horror movies, they're not to me. I just don't like them. But just for that scare factor.
I think for like you just mentioned the film there, Blair Witch. Now I happen to have that in my heart. I like the film solely because of how it was marketed, and B, how it was made, and then it is actually it's quite psychologically scary. You know, you haven't got a lot of blood in it, really, to be honest. There's no violence, not really. It's just more of like, they're in the woods and there's a fucking a supposed sort of mythology of a witch, and that sort of gets you going, doesn't it? You know, and that was great. And then to be fair, they did a second one, and that was absolute wank. They didn't even need to do that. It was shit.
I like that. Sorry. The John Bengal review, absolute wank.
Well, say it how it is. I mean, come on. I mean,
like it. It's good that. I want a Bengal review. Fucking rubbish, mate.
There's no tits. It's all shit. Fuck it.
All movies. No,
I mean, on a serious note, why do Hollywood just keep churning shit out? I mean, they want to make money, that's it. But it's got to the stage where people, like you said, people aren't going to the cinema because it's too high to buy tickets. It costs too much. It's just shit. Bring back the old days.
I know a lot of Wilson.
Yeah, £1.50 or something in pictures, man. Do you know what I mean? Or £3.
You know what? As Will found out when he was working in the cinema, a lot of companies now are just sending the film straight to streaming and they're not. The cinemas are dying out because they're trying to kill the cinemas in a way, aren't they? Will
I think so?
I seen a thing on. I follow. I don't even know where I'm from. Keith Live have got online, and I follow them on there. And the local picture house, it's been there for like 200 years, man, 150, 200 years. And we're saying it's going to close down if people don't start coming. You know what I mean? It's like we're trying to get people in there because streaming is so taking over everything. No one wants to go out.
Let me ask you this, because I went and saw a movie recently called Thanksgiving, and horror films are always terrible to see with groups of people because people scream and yell and joke around and throw shit at the screen. And what would you rather do? Would you rather watch a movie from the comfort of your own home with your own snacks and have to spend a fucking arm and a leg? Or would you rather go to the cinema with your four friends or your family, spend £80, for snacks and everything? Is it really worth it for an experience that ultimately could possibly suck for you? The movie might suck. The people around you might suck.
I've had instances where some knobhead ruins the film for you, just talking and things.
Yeah.
And he's always just there behind you. He's always just fucking there, isn't he?
I tell you, when I ran Gold Coast, I did not tolerate that shit at all. I threw people out multiple times. You know, it's just like I take movie going seriously because, like, honestly, you know, and this is what I told my staff.
It's an experience, man. It's an experience.
Yeah, if you have somebody come up to you to order popcorn and you're like, what? That fucking just ruined their whole fucking movie going experience that they just paid a lot of money for. Fucking treat these people with respect. And you know what? I'll give it to my staff. Most of my staff, if not all my staff, knew all the regulars, knew their orders by heart, had it prepared before they even got into the building. You know, that means a lot to the average moviegoer because it's like you don't get that kind of service anywhere.
No, do you feel?
You feel welcomed, man. You feel like a regular.
Yeah, I'd go to your movie show, mate. Definitely. If I got in there, it was all prepared, and I sat there. I wouldn't care how much I paid as long as I could watch the film. You know, it's not your fault if the film's shit.
John Bengal in America. Here, mate, 2 fucking tubs of salty popcorn. Some Cokes, have a fucking hot dog for the missus. Shut up, you little cunt. I'm ordering the fucking food.
You should do a fucking sketch on fucking Will's show like that, man, isn't it? You know, isn't it, Will? Yeah.
Yeah, mate, is there much fucking shagging in this film? No, we're not watching a fucking cartoon.
We used to have a guy that came. He was an old guy. Before we renovated Gold Coast. Gold Coast was like the scummy theater where people like it had sticky floors and shit. Nobody really kind of upkept it. But we had a guy who would go, and he was in his like his 60s or 70s. He walked with a cane. He would go see every movie and come out like 10 minutes after and be like, "There's no tits in it. I don't want to watch this." And he went like there was a movie called On the Basis of Sex. He went and saw that, and he was like, there was no fucking in that movie," and he got all pissed. Well, it got ridiculous. He started going seeing movies like fucking The Grinch and being like, "There was no tits in it." I'm like, what the fuck do you expect?
Yeah, mate. There's plenty of tits in The Grinch, mate. You just got to look for them, mate.
Yeah, you go.
The Grinch.
Yeah, I'm serious. I'll never forget that day. I got called down from the office. You're like, "There's a man upset." And I come down, and the guy was like, waving his ticket in my face. He's like, "You knew there was no tits in this movie and you sold me a ticket." I'm like, fuck you, you perv, you know? Why would you go see a kid's movie anyway?
Have you seen Napoleon, Will?
I haven't, no.
You know what? I enjoyed it. John, have you seen Napoleon?
Not yet, no.
Who's playing Napoleon?
What's that, sorry?
Who's playing Napoleon?
Martin Redding.
Joaquin Phoenix. But actually, I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy the battle scenes, but the actual dialogue between him and the bird who's playing John Bengal more than that fucking bird who's playing Napoleon. Really good. It was really good. And I think she pipped him at acting, the woman playing Josephine at Napoleon. But I enjoyed that.
You know, I seen advert for Batman, right, and I looked at it, right, and I'm like, I thought he died about 3 years ago, man. I really did.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, there was someone else I thought had died, man. He didn't know. Stephen Fry. I thought Stephen Fry died about 7 years ago.
That's salvia you've been smoking.
No, mate. No, mate. It's this fucking Mandela effect, bro. I'm telling you. Yeah. I remember Nelson Mandela dying fucking back in days, man. I do. I remember it in news and everything.
Really? Yeah.
I was all your kid, mate. I was all your kid, but in the day, yeah. But I remember that. And then when it's not dead, Mandela effect is real. That's why I believe this kind of shit, because it's like I thought these people were dead anyway. So
what are you talking about? Mandela effect? I thought it was the Mandalorian effect. What? Something I got wrong there.
No, Mandela effect, man. Mandela effect.
Yeah, I thought it's a Mandalorian effect. Like you watch the Mandalorian, everything changes in history. I mean, what's this about Mandalorian? Oh no, I'm all fucked.
I've not seen it, mate. I've not seen it. I can't get into them all, me. I can't get into them all. I used to like all of your Marvel movies, and then they just get too far fetched. You're on different worlds, and I'm like, what? Fuck off, mate. I know. I just got. Last few times I've been at pictures, like I used to take kids all the time to see these movies, like Iron Man. I've seen all them pictures with my kids. Do you know what I mean? In Keithley, in this little picture house, will tell you what nearly got closed down. And fucking now, I got pictures and I just fall asleep. Don't matter what the movie is, I just end up falling asleep because I just can't get into it.
Ian, that's great. I'm sorry. I'm not dissing you, but it was funny the way you went. You watch all the Marvel movies, and they got like, what did you say? It got
The
all
world.
It was too far fetched. Like it was too far fetched. So what you're telling me is like something like the Hulk, which was okay, isn't really far fetched. Some geezer gets gamma rays.
Mate. No, but when you look at the Hulk,
can I say something?
Look at the Hulk with Eric Banner, mate. That was shit. Eric Banner won, but for one of them anyway, because it was. Go on, Jimmy. Go on.
Right. I was watching Black Panther 2. Spoiler alert. And the girl who becomes Black Panther 2, she's fighting that kind of Aquaman, and he sticks this spear right through her, and then rips it out, and then she's carrying. And I go, this is bullshit. This is so fucking far-fetched now. I don't believe it. You know what I mean? Like I believed in Wakanda before, and flying, whatever. And then I said, fuck off, I'm fucking done with this film. Do you ever have them moments in a film called a fuck off moment where you was watching it and you invested into it and you go, fuck off, as though that would have happened, kind of thing. You know?
Yeah. Have you seen Z Nation?
Is that Brad Pitt? Is that Brad
No, it's a
Pitt
series. It's a series on Netflix about zombie apocalypse and everything.
Isn't it based on the Brad Pitt film? Something about Z?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is.
My son tried to get me to watch it for ages, and I've been watching it with him recently. Yeah, and I've seen loads of mistakes in there, loads, and I'm like, stop, think about it, watch it with your man. Do you know what I mean? Don't think about it. And it's like,
my buddy worked on the special effects for that, and I was like, really? You worked on Z Nation? He's like, don't start. It was a job, and trust me, it was not fun.
So many fuck ups in it.
Yeah, Logan Tobia, he was like a genius. I went to school with him, and he was one of those guys that you could be like, Logan, I need this tomorrow morning, and it's like 10 o'clock at night, and you're like, I need this tomorrow by 5 a.m. And then 5 a.m. would come up, and you'd be like, well, he probably doesn't have it done. He would have it done and some. He was a genius, and he worked on this show, and he's like, yeah, they literally just took advantage of me every chance they got.
Back in a minute, I've got to train the lizard.
Oh man, come on, man! I'm 4 cans in and I'm cool, bro.
Do you know what? Do you know how John was sat there? Will, do you not think he looked so cinematic, sat there smoking?
Yeah, I think so.
John, if he's still there, I think he's gone urinating. But John sat there smoking. He looked like a Marvel villain. It's an Iron Man.
If I went to an acting class and had to do an audition, what would be the best thing do you reckon I should do?
Something you enjoy.
For a monologue or an audition?
I can't have a wank on stage, mate. Make me feel bad.
You know, but
children's theater too. It's like, what the fuck?
It's I remember when I had to first do a monologue, and it's like, what the fuck? You have to remember lines. You obviously didn't stand up. You scribble shit on paper. And kind of
well, you do it that by yourself, wouldn't it? So it'd be a one-man monologue sort of thing, yeah. Well, I'd just like fucking, I don't know.
Vin Diesel used to go in and just make shit up.
That'd be like, that's how I'd do it, because I can't remember.
So he did a short film where he wasn't making it as an actor, so he goes, I'm going to make a short film, and if this doesn't work out, and it worked out for him because Spielberg saw it and was like, I'm going to cast you in something. But he admits in that short film that like he would go to these auditions and do these monologues, and he would do this monologue, and it was just him kind of like making it up and saying that a friend gave it to him. So cheers, mate.
But John, you look really good. I was just talking about you when you're gone.
Thanks a lot. Fucking there I go. Off for a minute and you talk shit about me.
It's not good. I said how cinematic. I was saying how cinematic you look with your background and all that smoking. It looks like it's framed and it just looks good. You know what I mean? You could be in lock stock. Right, how did you want?
Yeah.
So smoking in background as well, isn't it?
Don't try to fuck me over, mate.
Yeah, don't fuck me over. Do you know pigs? You know about pigs, don't you?
Listen here, you fucking weapon.
Jimmy,
There's
you gotta
two
make
types
that.
of cunts.
Fucking can, mate.
Yeah,
Well,
Jimmy, you've got to make that.
It needs to be done. That I'll get John Bengal in it.
Smoking.
Yeah, just smoking a fag in the corner, going "fuck off now" before I feed you to the pigs.
So John, how's the urbexing going? Are you still Are you still doing a bit of urbexing every now and then? Have you been quietened off from it?
Yeah, no, I'm still doing it, still putting stuff up.
Check your
having a little
channel.
break.
Yeah, I've been away from YouTube for quite a while. I fell into a different corner of YouTube, the toxic corner where they're all fighting and falling out with each other and stuff.
It happens in every part of YouTube. Whatever fucking genre you want to be in, people will fight and bitch and moan, and I'll try and stay away from it and say fuck off. I don't care really. If they want to fight, let them get on with it. Just don't involve me. That's
damn right, innit? Damn right, man. Fuck them all, man, is what I think, man. If people, I've had a couple of people coming on commenting, I remember them from last time, but if new people started coming on commenting, I'd be like, a bit edgy, because like I know there's a lot of snakes out there, man. But I don't want to be like that. I just want to be me and just welcome anyone, man, and just chat, man. That's all I want to do. Just like, you know what I mean? I did, didn't you, man?
Well, that's what I've always done. I mean, I started off because I like it. I thought, and I looked at what other people did, and I thought, right, and I'll do that. And I started off interviewing people. And I still do it, but not often now. I've got that bug of going out and doing it myself, because I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to interview people who do urbex, but I don't do it myself, I look a bit of a knob, really. And also, how can I actually expand and understand what they do unless I do it? So I went out and did it, got the bug. I love it. I think it's great. And the places I've seen, you don't see it unless you go and do it yourself.
Are we on about the same herbs? Are we on about the same herbs that I'm smoking, or are you on about actual herbs, man?
What are you talking about urbexing?
Urbexing. So
not herbs here. Not herbs.
Urbexing.
Anybody who doesn't know what urbexing is, it's urban exploring, which is going around to old buildings and
right. Yeah, I get that now. I do.
I'm going to put all your links out there. First of all, that's Ian's channel.
Okay. My battery's on 10%, so I ain't got a plug-in charger. I've just got to sit down one, so I've got to turn it off and sit down. So I'll go when it gets down to about 3 or something.
This is Will's channel, and I'm going to put Mr. Bengal's channel up as well. For that's what we do right here.
Thank you very much.
This is Mr. Devokees' channel. Check out Movie Night, the latest Movie Night episode with CJ Graham. He played Jason Voorhees in the 6th installment of Friday the 13th films. Right, Mr. John Bengal.
Didn't you interview someone else, right, who made Friday the 13th? Or did special effects on? That's one I watched, one. I watched
the director. He was the director of Friday 6.
Yeah. Good one. I like that. That's what I was on about before.
Which one's Friday 6? I've forgotten. There's so many. I think I watched up to 10. Is there any more? Don't know.
I think there's more. There's a lot of Friday films. They're not worth watching though.
I've watched one of them, mate. One. And I still know there's loads, man. There's too many.
This is Mr. John Bengal's channel. There's 3 channels there for. Please give him a sub. It's free, like your gas. Well, technically. It's free.
Sure. I used to think you had to, when say subscribe, I'm like, fuck that, man. I'm not paying fucking that, mate. Do you know what I mean? When people said
my donation link. I know that's the last time I'll put it up there. Gentlemen, I think we've had a good 2 hours there.
Yeah.
There's been some good points raised and all that, and it's been good to look at all you, especially John smoking like a philosophical kind of Alan Watts.
Don't you think it brought a lock stock theme to it?
It brought a good calming energy, like a patriarchal figure. He'd keep us all in line, but without having to do it.
Stop it, all right? Don't take the piss, but consider the lily.
I like it. Listen, everybody. Tomorrow night there's going to be another I don't know if any of you are free tomorrow night, whatever.
I've got my grandson tomorrow. I won't be able to.
If you want to jump on tomorrow night, you know, and more anybody else who wants to jump on tomorrow night, we'll do this. We'll try and go through till Christmas Day. And but thank you to Mr. Will DeVockies. Thank you to Mr. Ian Can't Beat the Weed, and the one, the only, the inimitable Mr. John Bengal, explorer extraordinaire and Cockney geezer. But if you're going to donate to the channel, you can. Please subscribe to those 3 links and all that. Good night. God bless.
1 minute, Jimmy, before you finish that. A big thank you to Jimmy as well, man. Do you know what I mean? Because he's back and he's awesome, and you all love that he's back. Because I've missed him on here as well, man. So, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ian, but stop it.
It's going to wet up now. Start crying.
Yeah,
oh, fuck off, you woke pussy.
I'm throwing myself downstairs naked and touching myself over those words. Hurt me, daddy. Sorry. Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Good
night, guys.
That was too bad, Bengal.
I'm old, you said that. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night, mate. Bye-bye.